Hello everyone. Now, of course, today I'm going to be talking about something which, of course, I don't think I should be talking about until I actually put up my spoiler and non-spoiler review of Star Wars The Last Jedi. But, of course, I'm going to talk about it because I'm actually deciding to wait to put those up till later. And a reason you'll see, of course, when you see the movie, why I don't want to put my spoiler review up right away. So, first of all, Star Wars box office, which is what we're going to talk about today. So basically, the box office for Star Wars The Last Jedi is not very good. Now, you may be saying, well, it made, like 220,000 opening weekend domestically. It did. And I'm not saying it didn't. But, even if it did, and that's good, it's Star Wars. If you didn't expect it to make that much opening weekend, then it's insane. Now, if you were to look at opening weekend for a movie like The Force Awakens, which made 247, and then you look at The Last Jedi, which made 220, it clearly didn't make as much as The Force Awakens. And The Force Awakens was a movie which I think underwhelmed people in terms of what they expected. If you're making less in The Force Awakens than you are in The Last Jedi, you've kind of got a problem there. And I mean, sure, it's Star Wars, but also another thing I'm going to talk about, just touch upon in this video, is, of course, the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, which is, of course, a 56%. Doing worse than Star Wars Episode 2, The Attack of the Clones, which had 57, which was, if they're saying that people who reviewed this are more hated, it's kind of like, what's wrong with this movie? Clearly the critics liked it with a 93 on Tomato Meter, but, I mean, and then when you read the critic consensus, Star Wars The Last Jedi honors the saga's rich legacy while adding some surprising twists and delivering all the emotion-rich action fans could hope for. You don't see that, I don't think, specifically in the movie. Now, I'm going to read a few reviews that were a bit more negative. So I'm going to start with, of course, a 1-star fan review. These are fan reviews, I'm just saying now. These are not critic reviews. I really thought that they could go no lower than The Phantom Menace. There are so many things to hate about this film. The rubbish attempts at humor, the ruining of so many beloved characters. Why, Disney, why? I'm not going to read any spoiler reviews, but just because, to keep the spoiler free. Leaving the cinema, I felt I'd witnessed the death of the franchise. I may need to see a second time, but everything I remember from this film was wrong. Firstly, it was too long. The whole Finn Rose plot should have been scrapped. It was pointless. There was too much forced humor, all at the wrong times. I could go on forever with nitpicking. All I can say is Luke throwing his father's lightsaber over his shoulder summed up the film. Probably the worst written and unnecessary, the longest boring Star Wars film made. Leia flying and Luke is a hermit. Stupid. There's now no reason to make another Spaceball movie. Disney did it for you. It's a trap. The film has the most beautiful takes of all the sagas, but it's all a trap. Nothing makes sense, and the narrative that didn't go to anywhere. All sacrifices are just melodramatic. I think there's some merit to these. because they're reviews. Obviously, they're people who've seen the movies. They're not all trolls. And these are the negative ones. Of course, there are positive ones. It didn't get a 0. There were clearly positive reviews, and I've read a few of them. But I decided to choose the negative ones just to show you what people don't like. And I think when I go into my spoiler review, I'll talk about it a bit more in detail. But I think I just want to kind of get that over with and say, guess what? The Force Awakens actually didn't do that well, especially on opening weekend, especially considering movies like The Avengers, which did better, Jurassic World, which did better, The Force Awakens, which did better, and I think just in general, consensus for fans-wise, I mean, it got an A cinema score, which means it's saying something, and I haven't gone and tried to find every review negative. I just kind of went in and found the first few on Rotten Tomatoes I could find that were negative. And I'm sure if you do more research into this, you'll kind of see where I'm coming at in terms of this movie and what happened, and what you could probably see some things that were in this movie that people didn't like. I certainly saw the humor and the attempts at humor, and I'll talk about more of that in my spoiler review, but until then, see you guys next time.